tweet or on X, whatever you call it, from a burner, troll account, whatever you want to call it, that said there was an altercation between Zaid and assistant coach Cody Hatt. The program decided to acknowledge that on their official Marquette basketball Twitter account and said the information regarding the altercation is inaccurate. So to me, that does imply that an altercation did occur. Obviously, we don't know that for sure. But, what was your reaction when you saw all this go down? I know you're a Twitter guy, so I know you were following along. So tell me, what was your reaction to that?
Yeah, well, I first saw the news reported, obviously, by the Marquette account, and I kind of, like you did, went back and thought about the timeline of this all with Adrian Stevens starting over Zaid Lowery eventually, and then Zaid ultimately not playing a lot, and then doesn't make the trip to Creighton, and it's for personal reasons. Ben Steele from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel asked Shaka Smart about it after the game. He said, nothing to do with the team. It was all personal. Okay, that's great. But, yeah, and then this news comes out that he's leaving the team, and the thing that I thought was interesting is that they edited the original tweet to say that no altercation happened, right? And then they edited it and said the information regarding the altercation is false, which was, White Sox Bill, I believe, was the account that tweeted this out. I think, like you said, the fact that they retweeted it or quote retweeted it gave White Sox Bill a little more credence as to this might be something that actually happened, because when I saw the original tweet from the burner account floating around before the official Marquette basketball account retweeted it, and I kind of just dismissed it, right? People say things all the time on Twitter. Like you said, I'm a big Twitter guy, so I'm always on the app a little more than I'd like to admit. But when you interact with that from the account that's associated with the team, with the school, it kind of makes you think, like, there's a reason that they did that, right?
Yeah, the tweet's still up. Shaka could have called whoever's in charge and said, delete this. Like, we got to take this down. But no, it's still up. And, not to give free publicity, but whoever is behind the White Sox Bill account is apparently out and about downtown and giving away paper bags to wear tonight.
I saw that at the
let's hope we don't see
a
ton of that. Yeah, let's hope we don't see a ton of those in the crowd here at Fiserv Forum tonight. But, yeah, certainly just not a great situation. Zaid Lowery was a player that a lot of people were excited about. He had a breakout game as a freshman, referencing Ben Steele's great work here for the Journal-Sentinel. Back in the 2023-24 season, he scored 25 points in a game at Villanova that Marquette won, and people kind of thought, like, man, this guy is going to take off. And, of course, this year, he's inserted into the starting lineup. He started the first 9 games, but then he lost his starting spot, and pretty quickly his playing time dropped all the way to nothing. And so you can certainly see why there's rumors and speculation floating around that Lowery was not thrilled with the coaching staff about his lack of playing time, especially due to the team losing games.
Being honest, too, my hottest take coming into the year was that Zaid Lowery was going to be the leading scorer for the team. I think he's such a dynamic player, and his athleticism was effortless at times, like the way he can get up and play at the rim. I was so impressed by that in the early stages of the season, and then it slowly just trickled off and fell off and kind of snowballed into kind of this situation that we're in now, where Adrian Stevens, like, things don't start going the Marquette's way. You start dropping a couple of games, and then all of a sudden you put the freshman in to get some experience. He shines, and then you're kind of just sitting there with you were starting, and now you're playing minimal minutes. So it's just such a bizarre situation, and I think, like, the last thing that this team needed was something off the court to affect their play on the court. Like, we're going to get into it a little bit later, but the game against Creighton was not great, right? Like, I don't want it. I don't know what words to use to describe it, but I'll just go with not great for now. So the last thing that they needed was another distraction to, kind of impede their progress with this young team, with players, still finding their roles. And the distraction is just something that's not going to help, especially as we get into the thick of Big East play right here.
Just to put a bow on the Zaid Lowery conversation. So Lowery was one of 4 members of Marquette's 2023 recruiting class under newly appointed head coach Shaka Smart at the time, along with Trey Norman, Al Amadou, and Caden Hamilton. So I think any Marquette fan would tell you that wasn't Shaka Smart's best year on the recruiting trail, right? And particularly, obviously, you have a couple guys who are giving you quality minutes here and there, but you certainly didn't find an impact player in that class, and that's part of the problem here with a team that has not acquired talent in the transfer portal and clearly hasn't been able to develop some of the big recruits or even lower-level recruits, guys who didn't have a ton of action. Caden Hamilton didn't have any stars on his recruiting profile coming into Marquette, and the goal was clearly to develop, particularly with that 23 class. It has not happened yet. All right, when we come back, we want to touch a little bit on that Creighton game, although not a whole lot, as you touched on, Will. But Nigel James Jr. did show out in that one, and Sean Jones is starting to show some key strides here. Ben Steele did a great story on him in the Journal-Sentinel as well. We're going to break that down after the break. This is Marquette College Game Day, brought to you all season long by National Liquor Mart, Cousin Subs, Marquette Athletics, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, and Exterior Pros. We'll be right back on your home of the Golden Eagles, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
More Golden Eagles hoops talk coming up on Marquette College Game Day. 94.5 ESPN is the home of Marquette basketball.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating three. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
At every meeting, at every new beginning, at every celebration, we make better happen. At Cousin Subs, better is more than just a word. It's a promise we serve at every party. Our customizable party boxes, box lunches, party chips, and dozen cookie boxes offer the options you need to please any crowd. Whatever the occasion, we will never settle for being just good enough. Order on our mobile app or online at cousinsubs.com. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
At Marquette University, it's all about finishing strong, just like Matrix Basement Finishing. From first tip to final buzzer, Marquette plays with purpose and passion and precision values shared by the Matrix teams in every lower-level transformation they complete. Hey, it's Greg Matzik, and as someone currently having my own basement finished by Matrix, I can tell you firsthand, they truly live up to their name. Whether you're cheering from the stands or relaxing in your newly finished basement, remember the best teams and the best homes always finish strong.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right, and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This is Marquette College Game Day, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook and sponsored by National Liquor Mart, Cousin Subs, Exterior Pros, and Matrix Basement Finishing on the home of Marquette basketball, 94.5 ESPN.
Marquette and Seton Hall going to battle here at Fiserv Forum on this snowy Tuesday night. The final game for your Golden Eagles in 2025. Marquette basketball knows how to finish strong, and so does Matrix Basement Finishing. Turn your lower level into a space you'll love with craftsmanship that delivers the win every time. Matrix Basement Finishing, proud partner of Marquette Athletics. Learn more at matrixbasements.com. Matt Yazel, Will Summers with you here on Marquette College Game Day, bringing you up to the top of the hour where Gabe Neitzel will take over. All right, Will, it's been 10 days that we've sat on this Marquette loss on the road at Creighton, a good team that got off to a tough start this season. Marquette was down by more than 30 points at one point. Most people were watching the Packer-Bears game that night, so they didn't care to tune in much, so we could kind of push it to the side. But one positive for sure was Nigel James Jr. 23 points, a new career high for the freshman. Also racked up 6 boards, 4 steals, 3 assists. He was knocking down shots from deep, and really the lone bright spot in what was otherwise, again, just a tough night for Marquette against a good team. Now that you see the backcourt with him taking over the starting guard spot, Zade Lowry's not in the mix, and Sean Jones, who was originally supposed to be the starting point guard of this team, that's certainly what we thought coming into the year, he's starting to pick it up now as well in a different role. Just how do you view Nigel James' ceiling, if you will, for the rest of this season in his freshman year?
I really do not think he's even close to his ceiling. I think every single game that we see him play, he's getting better and better. You kind of, when Sean Jones went down and Nigel James had to start and he realized that scoring was going to be at a premium for this team, he really started to just take it upon himself. One thing I admire the most about Nigel James Jr., especially on the offensive side of the ball, is his fearlessness. Like, he will go at anybody down low. It doesn't matter how big or how tall anybody is down there. He'll take it right to him. And, I mean, like you said, too, he can shoot the three a little bit. It's not saying much, but he's been one of their best three-point shooters this year. And he really is like an all-around great guard. Like 6 rebounds, too, in the game against Creighton. That doesn't go unnoticed. He almost led the team. I think Demarius Owens had 7. That was the most. So the second most rebounds on the team. And I think he passes very well, too. He sees the floor very well. And he has something that Marquette kind of needs on offense, where it's just a guy that can handle the ball and create shots for himself, because what that does in turn is opens up all these other shots, guys in the corner. Unfortunately, Marquette hasn't been able to sink a lot of threes, 8 for 24 in the game against Creighton, but his ability to just kind of open up the floor, because I feel like Chase Ross has been great for a majority of the year. He's slowed down a little bit the past couple of games, but I think Nigel James has the ability to really just take it upon himself to have the offense run through him, which is something that I think Chase Ross struggles with at times, and especially when teams realize what Chase Ross is going to do and try to get to the rim, it's a little bit easier to stop him than it is Nigel James when he's actively shooting threes. He's actively, getting to the rim and finding his open teammates.
It's a good point about Chase. Would love to see a good Chase Ross game tonight. He struggled 3 for 13, I believe, on the road at Creighton. But looking at this backcourt with Sean Jones, again, a shout out to Ben Steele, the Journal Sentinel. He did an interview with Sean Jones, and he kind of came out and talked about some of the struggles coming back from his injury and obviously the tough start to this season. And I thought it was most interesting when he said he felt him and Chase Ross, being the senior guards, were kind of doing a disservice to the younger guards coming up in this Marquette program, including Nigel James Jr. And it seems like, to me, that Marquette's season has gone from a little bit of shock at the start to how bad things were going. And then, of course, you see some anger and some frustrations. Obviously, Zade Lowry, the loudest among that, if you will, departing the program. And now Marquette is probably changing their mindset a little bit and thinking, you know what, it's a bad year, but we got a lot of games to go to grow this team and get it ready for the future. Do you see that type of similar thing with comments like this from Sean Jones, and do you think he's right maybe? Are the senior guards for this Marquette team doing a disservice with how poor this season has gone to these younger guys?
I would say there's two sides of it. Like, obviously, the front court not playing as well has been giving other guys opportunities. Like you mentioned, with the frustrations from Zade Lowry has opened up a boatload of opportunities for Adrian Stevens, and we've seen him shine in a lot of big moments this year. He's been, like, from game 1 to now, I think he's progressed a lot. He's shown the ability. Like, I'll probably mention it a few hundred more times on this show, but his dunk against Wisconsin, like, I didn't know he had that in him. Would he have gotten that chance if, guys like Zade weren't struggling at the time and he didn't get the opportunity? Probably not. But I think, like, the problem is that Sean Jones and Chase Ross, like they were never really in this position where they had to lead and show younger guys the way, right? Like they always had Cam and Stevie and Job and Tyler Kolek, who's been showing out Oso to show them the way. So now that it's their turn and they've kind of just been thrust into this position as upperclassmen by say, but they haven't really had the chance to be the true upperclassmen leaders that the guys that came before them were.
Yeah, Tyler Kolek, by the way, that was the Christmas present all Marquette
awesome.
fans needed. Absolutely awesome. He somehow, just a friendly reminder to ruin the Christmas present, the Milwaukee Bucks selected Tyler Smith, 1 pick ahead of Tyler Kolek. Just a reminder for the local basketball fans here. But let's move on from that. So the last time we were here was for the Georgetown game, where Marquette honestly looked like they could have had that one. And in particular is because it was a Demarius Owens game. It was probably the Demarius Owens game of his career so far. Then, at Creighton, not bad. Came off the bench, played 23 minutes. Just didn't get involved too much. 7 rebounds, but only 6 points on 2 of 5 shooting. Maybe it's just hopeless, or I don't know, false hope, I guess is what I'm looking for. But I can't let go of the hope for Demarius Owens turning into a guy who can be an impact starter next season. No. And again, there's so many games left to go. I really want to see more from him.
Yeah, right when you think you're out, he pulls you back in. Homer referred to him as Big East Demarius Owens. Right when the Big East play started is when he started to shine. And I wish I could give you some theory or reason as to where this came from. Because, he was still getting solid minutes in the first couple games, and, like you said, just really not doing anything with it, and then he gets a little more tick in that game against Georgetown, and it's all of a sudden, wow, where has this guy been the entire year? So I think a guy like him, too, as a sophomore, to keep progressing, and, I wouldn't say, I don't want to rule the season out as a lost cause yet. I don't want to be negative. It might be, a lot of people are saying it is, but I think there's a lot to build on there. Like guys like Demarius, like you said, working his way into a starting lineup and learning how to play team basketball. I think he's been doing, he's just so athletic. He can contribute at so many aspects of the game. He can rebound. He can get up at the rim. I'd like to see him obviously develop that shooting, which is something that we're frankly going to see a lot of this year is young guys getting more playing time. Michael Phillips, one of them as well. And just seeing them get better and better as the year goes on, and not just game action, not just these games against Southern or U Albany. These are Big East games that matter. So I'm looking forward to seeing the progression, especially from Demarius, because he, like you said, is so exciting, and he's just a spark plug for this team. And you felt it against Georgetown. He was kind of the energizer, and I thought it was one of the best games they've played all year, despite the loss in the first half. And I think it was mostly in part to his play.
Absolutely. All right, when we come back, we'll wrap up the show by previewing the team we're taking on the court tonight, the Seton Hall Pirates, a team who is unofficially ranked number 27 in the country. If you like to look at the AP poll and look at who receives votes, this is an opportunity for Marquette's best win of the season by far tonight. We'll preview that and the differences in philosophy between these two programs as we wrap up the show after this on Marquette College Game Day.
More Golden Eagles hoops talk coming up on Marquette College Game Day. 94.5 ESPN is the home of Marquette basketball.
National Liquor Mart is packed with deals to get you through the winter. During basketball season, remember to stop by National Liquor for all your Marquette pre- and post-game needs. If you're hosting a party and want to impress your guests, stop in to National Liquor where the varieties are endless. They have the cleanest store and the coldest beer. National Liquor Mart, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. National Liquor, open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily on the corner of 16th and National.
People say buying a home in winter is tough.
But fewer buyers means less competition, and motivated sellers can mean better opportunities.
This is Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates First Weber.
And I'm Lindsay Bendler. When the perfect home appears, our team at Tony Wendorf & Associates helps you move fast, even during the snow.
Start your home journey today with our white glove service by simply searching online Tony Wendorf.
A real estate team that always leads with faith and gratitude.
Tony Wendorf & Associates.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 4-1. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
Hey, it's John McGivern here. You know I love Network Health. One of the reasons is that they're local and they understand how important that is. Their exceptional customer service isn't just words on a page. It's what they do. It's what they've always done for over 41 years. Call 833-7-NETWORK today. HMO and POS plans underwritten by Network Health Plan. Compensation has been provided for using this endorsement of Network Health.
We didn't know what to expect. We were just left in a hotel.
My mom was doing drugs in the house.
Tay and Brianna spent years of their childhood in homes that weren't safe. They were placed in foster care and longed for a permanent, loving home.
I didn't know what my future was.
I wouldn't speak to anyone. I was afraid of everything.
With help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, Brianna and Tay were adopted and now feel excited about their futures.
I'm studying to be a chef, and I really want to travel the world.
I'm going to be a mechanic, and I can focus on my career.
Right now, in the United States, there are more than 100,000 children in foster care, just like Brianna and Tay, who need a family now. Learn how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
This is Marquette College Game Day, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook and sponsored by National Liquor Mart, Cousin Subs, Exterior Pros, and Matrix Basement Finishing on the home of Marquette basketball, 94.5 ESPN.
All right, wrapping things up here on Marquette College Game Day. Marquette takes on Seton Hall, the unofficially ranked number 27 team in the country. They come in at 11-2, although they did just fall to Villanova in their second game in Big East play. Will, what's your number one thing you're looking at here with this Seton Hall team? They did take down NC State at the Maui Invitational this year. Otherwise, not a supremely tough schedule, but do you think they're a real contender in the Big East this year?
I don't this year. I do think that they're on the rise. They had a good win against NC State. They beat them 85-74, and NC State was ranked 23rd, and followed that up by almost beating USC. But I'm just not sold yet. I watched the Villanova game. I thought they started out very well, and then Villanova, we kind of started to see Seton Hall's true colors at the end of that game. You know, Villanova went on a big run, and I think they're definitely getting better. I mean, they've added a lot of transfers this year, which I know we're going to get into that very quickly, which is something that Marquette obviously doesn't do. But I think they're definitely on the rise. Kind of resembles St. John's a couple years ago, where they started winning a couple games. They went from not being very well respected in the Big East to kind of earning that respect from the other teams around the Big East. But I'm still not completely sold on them as a contender in this division.
Seton Hall, last I checked, 1.5-point favorites only tonight. What do you got there?
I think they win by 5.
Not giving financial advice here. But.
I think they'll win by 5. 1.5 is such a weird line on the road in a conference game. Like, I especially with free throws in college basketball, I always would stray like 3 or 4 extra points. So I think they'll win by 5. But obviously, Marquette I'd still count that as a win, moral victory if they're able to compete well with Seton Hall and play well. And if they lose by 5, I wouldn't be super disappointed from what we've seen the past couple games.
All right, I'm going to go with you there. Maybe a little more than 5 on my end. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope we see some good things from Marquette and Chase Ross in particular tonight. That does it for Marquette College Game Day. Coming up is your network pregame coverage with Gabe Neitzel. Enjoy the game.
At Marquette University, it's all about finishing strong. Just like Matrix